Hey guys, Merry Christmas, and I wish everybody a Happy New Year. So, in today's video, I will be showing y'all like the best catches of the year. I'm pretty sure that I might add some like little more today or later on, but yeah, let's get started. All right, so this one I say is a good catch. I seen this one a couple like 2 days ago on December 28th, I think, 2023. And it's the Amtrak PO53, the auto train. This is pretty special to me because it's my first time seeing it. And I think it was led by two GE Genesis P40s. And he was booking. We were at Woodbridge Station this day. And he was booking through there. We were doing pretty fast. But yeah, it was my first time catching the auto train. And it was pretty cool. So the auto train is basically like, it's an Amtrak and a mix of freight. So I mean, I think it's $95 to get on the train, and then if you want to take your car, it's an extra $125. And it goes to Stanford, Florida. So yeah, this was pretty cool to catch, and I'm hoping to see it later on because, as you can tell, it was pretty dark outside, and it was raining, so it wasn't pretty good. But yeah, this train was booking it. Yeah, and there goes the end. Alright, so I was pretty happy for that. And then here we were at in Pennsylvania at a yard. I had seen that GP9 just sitting there. I had seen it on a report on heritage units on the app, and I thought I'd stop by, and it was on a local. I'm not sure what local, but yeah. Then here we were at the B entrance of the yard, seeing the Norfolk Southern 1071 Central of New Jersey Heritage Unit. It was leading, well, it wasn't leading, but it was on coal trains on and off of Baltimore, and I guess it just stayed there. And it was sitting between a couple locomotives. Then we see a yard job, and then there's an operational lifesaver locomotive. And this was pretty cool. And then after before this video, we were after the Conrail because I had for God's sake in a video and I had only taken pictures, so we had to return back. But we were on the Conrail, and that day it left on Norfolk Southern 11N. And yeah, there's the Conrail. That's when we're pulling off. And then here's the Conrail reversing. I'm guessing they were switching the yard because it was pretty early in the morning, around 9 in the morning. I think particularly when I took the video, it was 9:18 or 9:19. And there it is, backing the train back into the yard. It was the symbol was Norfolk Southern 11N. I'm pretty sure that's what somebody gave me. It was a pretty cool lash up. You had a C6M 70 Ace, and then the Conrail ES 44 AC, I think it is. So yeah, it was Norfolk Southern AC 44 C6M, Norfolk Southern SD 70 Ace, and then the Conrail ES 44 AC. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. If it wasn't, then I'm wrong. And I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. But yeah, this train had stopped right in front of us, which was pretty cool. But then because of all the trees and the branches, yeah, I couldn't get a good shot. So whatever is at the end of the video, that's the shots that I got for the train. Or I might just overlay it. But I'm voiceovering it first before doing anything because that's pretty easy to do. So yeah, it had stopped right in front of us, and this was the last time we would see the Conrail before heading back to Maryland. So yeah, today on December 30th, we're going to see Amtrak PO30 at Kensington with the Heritage Unit on the lead, so that should be at the end of the video. And then here is the first time we've seen the Conrail. heritage backing into the yard. This was around 9:09 a.m. This one, I think I got some pretty good shots, just the angles weren't that good. Since I was in the van, my hand was kind of twisted, and it was really windy in Pennsylvania. I think my angles were pretty messed up, but I don't know. And then here, we are in Alexandria, Virginia, at the Vandor Yard. Here was the Norfolk Southern 1800, the the 8100, nickel plate heritage unit on NS 99K, and then here we had Amtrak P089, I think, with ACL leading, and there it goes. This was pretty cool. This day I was gonna go to Baltimore to see the 1071, but I wasn't sure if it was visible, so I instead headed to Alexandria. We were the same distance, 47 to Vandor and 47 to Baltimore, so I just took my chances and went on this. Then, a couple days before, we got CSX IO30 at Riverdale Station, with the CSX 1776 ES44 AC trailing, and it looks like it was repainted. So yeah, let's just go with that. It was on its new fresh paint. That was a really shiny locomotive, and I enjoyed it. It was around 7:06 when the train came by through Riverdale. 7:06 in the morning, and that sunrise was so beautiful. But yeah, this train is a peak season train, so I'm not sure how long it would run for, but once this train terminates, then it would just be IO31 and IO32. But usually the train, there's the IO30 and IO34, which are both early morning runs, so basically taking charge of IO32. Just this IO30 is the IO32. Now the IO34 is to Baltimore. So that's what CSX 1776 was on originally, and then they put it on 30. So I mean, pretty cool to see. But yeah, and then the ones that head back west to Florida are IO33 and IO35. So those are pretty cool. I've never seen those, which I've been wanting to see since I live in the area. Imagine not being able to catch them since they came out. It's been like a month or two since they've been running, but yeah. All right, and here we are at the St. Denis station. And this night was my first time seeing the CSX B815. This is a loaded ethanol train headed east towards Baltimore. And the power on this train was what made it really special. So it was a BNSF ES44 AC leading, a West Fargo leasing locomotive trailing second SD70 Mac, and then a Norfolk Southern SD70 Ace trailing third. So this power had originally come off of I want to say CSX B773. So it led 815 all the way to Brunswick, and then they tied down. When B774 left, out of nowhere, a B773 came, and that power had led. The Norfolk Southern had led that train, and then led B774 out of Baltimore, and then they led to Brunswick. So that same day that they left, they hooked up the locomotives and came on B815. Oh, this was a pretty cool catch. Here we are at the west end of St. Denis Station. seeing a tie-down CSX E783 with the CSX 911 leading. This was a pretty cool catch. I've been trying to catch 911 for a while after not getting a good picture. And on this day, we were at Riverdale Station seeing CSX Out 31. This train was delayed almost an hour after hitting a tree that was knocked down at Relay. This day, he was bringing back the power off of I-007, I-008 at New Bergen, New Jersey, and at the brand new Atlantic Coastline 1871 trailing. This was a pretty cool catch. Riverdale Station was packed this day. Whole bunch of rail fans out to see it, and was with one of my subscribers that I've recently met and became friends with. Yeah, this was a pretty cool catch. Oh yes, this is a good one. Here we are at the Sunnyside Avenue in Beltsville, catching CSX M331 after leaving Jessup. And it had 3 Canadian National locomotives, as you just seen. A SD70 Ace, and SD70 M2 -2, and a couple and 2 GVOs. And this was a pretty cool lasher because it also had a pair of 1 YN2 paint scheme, AC44 CW, and a SD40-2, I think it was, or -3. And it was just pretty cool power, and it wasn't really like a cool train because I've seen a lot of Canadian National Power, but seeing it like that was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool mashup, so I thought it was worth it adding it in this video. Yes, I enjoyed this one. Here is CSX M410 coming eastbound on number 2 through Greenbelt with the CSX I think it's the 1982 Seaboard System Heritage Unit trailing second. I mean, it's not leading, but just catching this Heritage Unit once again was pretty cool to see. So yeah, and this day I was out with a friend rail fanning, although we didn't talk at all, but we met up there, and this was a pretty cool catch. And then it had a private car on the rear of the train, which was another cool catch about it. So yeah, and yeah, this was also a cool car. Didn't have any trash container on top of it, but there comes the private car. It was the second to last car on M410 this night. Pretty cool. This one was also a pretty neat catch. It's the CSX, I think this was IO32, and it had the brand new CSX 1871 Atlantic Coastline Heritage Unit leading. This was my first time catching it, and the first time it had headed on a train to Maryland, so this was a pretty cool to see after a couple months of CSX not releasing a Heritage Unit. Alright, this day I had gone to Benning, DC to see the CSX P001 that had came a few days ago out of Waycross, Georgia. Just came to see it to get some better shots, because the night that it came, I didn't get any good shots, but there it is. Alright, I thought this was worth being mentioned. So this day we were at Riverdale Station catching, I think I was there waiting on a CSX train, and as I was waiting, Mark P850 or 56 came flying by the station with mark engine number 70 leading. Now, this was pretty cool because it's a new rebuilt mark locomotive. And it was a pretty cool lash up as well with the SC44 trailing. Alright, this was the night that the CSX-P001 came north from Waycross, Georgia with the CSX-1827, the Baltimore, Ohio Heritage Unit leading, and the CSX number 1 F40PH trailing in the B&O paint scheme. So this was a full-on B&O train. It had came down to Washington to be in Union Station for a bit, I'm guessing, but there it was, and it was a pretty cool catch. Had some Christmas lights at the end of the train. And yeah, just seeing that 1827 and just the rest of the train was pretty cool. My first time ever seeing those OCS passenger cars that CSX owns. And my second time seeing the number 1 F40PH. But yeah, there go the Christmas lights. This is what made the train worth it, definitely. But yeah. There it goes. This is definitely a good one. There goes CSX 911 as a rear DPU on CSX M4 2222 going eastbound towards Baltimore. Now this one was pretty cool because it was, I think, my first time getting CSX on a daylight run after becoming a photographer. So this was pretty cool, and I think it was worth mentioning. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Here is CSX M42221 coming eastbound off the east leg of the Y to number 2 at Riverdale with the CSX 4568 trailing the 50-year anniversary operational lifesaver locomotive. Now, not only did we get this train on M42221, but I was also out with a subscriber rail fanning, and the viewers of the channel, they're pretty cool too. But I would say one of the best subscribers I've met this entire year. I love all my subscribers dearly, but these have been like my best that I've met so far. But yeah, there goes that operational lifesaver locomotive. It came through a couple days ago on M371, but I didn't catch it because it was like 2 a.m. and I wasn't gonna be out there at that time. But yeah, there it goes. Oh yeah, this was CSX M319, I think, coming off the east leg of the Y to number 2 track with the CSX 911 first responders unit leading. In this thing, you'll see 911 about 4 times, I think. But yeah, this is when it was leading M300, and this was I would say this time was the best time that, like, my best night picture I've got of it. Even though I've only seen it one time in the night, I think, but it was still a pretty cool shot that I got of 911, and it was coming really slow through Riverdale. It was around 12:45 when it came through.
All right, and then this was, I don't even remember, but here is CSX E926, I think, coming around the west leg of the Y in Heightsville with a brand new refurbished SD78C. And this was a pretty cool catch, and I think it was pretty cool enough to add it to this. I know they've become more commonly seen, but this was when there was only 2 of them built. And it was a pretty shiny locomotive. I was pretty glad to see this right after school. And there it goes, off into the sunset. Pretty cool catch. Alright, now here is CSX M409 with CSX T911 honoring our first responders unit trailing. Or it's DPU. And I've seen 911 plenty of times, but 911 is 911, and it's always worth of adding it to some of my cool catches. Alright, and then here we get Amtrak PL29 coming out of Washington Union Station with the 130 Heritage Unit leading. I think this is also pretty cool, and I thought I'd add it in because I think I've seen this Heritage Unit like 3 times before, but I always think it's worth of adding it. Alright, here we have CSX M214 coming by Riverdale with power pulled out straight out of the 90s. I'm pretty sure the leader was a pretty old AC-44 CW. Trailing was a -8 or a -9. And then behind both of those were 2 Max. So, that was a pretty cool catch, and I thought it would be worth adding that into here since it was my first time ever seeing a lash up like that. Alright, and then here we have CSX M422 coming eastbound through Riverdale with 3 Canadian National locomotives. Now, what's pretty cool about this is that I waited for this train for about an hour, and it was my first time seeing Canadian National Jevos with the little sticker on the nose, which I thought was pretty cool, and that's why I made attempt to catch it. It was a pretty cool catch nonetheless, and I hope I do get more trains and lash ups like this one, because this one was pretty amazing, and I love that Canadian National Power. It's just for these lash ups, please give me something else than Canadian National, because we have a whole bunch of Canadian National Foreign Power over here. Alright, so here we have Mark P858 coming into Riverdale Station with Mark, I think 70 leading. These new rebuilds have the nicest horns, I swear. They have my favorite horn, the P5 horn, on the new rebuilds. I don't know if they have them on the old ones, the unrebuilds, but I know they have them on the rebuilds. And I was so happy to see this come into the station when I did, because I heard a P5 and I was like, they called out Mark, and I was just so surprised when I seen this just pull into the station. And what made this even better was that I got a meet after I stopped recording the video, which was pretty amazing. I got a video on my camera, but I could never download it, so y'all gonna get this video, the least quality video. Alright, here we have CSX I-136. I had seen this train previously in Cumberland this same day. And I only went to Cumberland because I thought the Chesapeake and Ohio Heritage Unit was going to be sent on CSX M369, which then later, to my surprise, it ended up trailing on CSX I-136. And it was pretty cool because this was my first time ever catching the Chesapeake and Ohio Heritage Unit. So, I pretty much enjoyed this catch, and I was just so glad to see this. And, I didn't get good pictures, but, it was still worth it. Still caught it on video, and, maybe later on I'll have better luck and I'll see it come through Maryland again.
This is a pretty short clip, so I'm just going to get straight to the point. This is CSX Y101 with CP BNSF and a BNSF war bonnet. Pretty cool catch. All right, how about this? Here's CSX M372 coming off the old main line onto the Baltimore subdivision at St. Denis Station. This was pretty cool because when I seen the post, I seen 911 was a rear DPU nose out. Now, what I didn't know, that the SD40-2 that was trailing behind the locomotive was in the YN2 paint scheme going in for Bayview. Now, this was so cool and so rare since I've only seen these YN2 paint scheme locomotives like 3 or 4 times ever, and there's only 2 of them, so catch them while you can. And, it was just pretty amazing. All right, here's the same M372, but with 911 as a rear DPU. Now, so nice to see this train with 2 rare stuff. Had a YN2 Jeep at the front, and then, a YN2 SD40 at the front, and then had the 911 as a rear DPU. Pretty cool catch, and I'm pretty sure this when I got this 911 was not as dirty as it is now, but still pretty cool. See it at St. Denis, and a cool memory since St. Denis is now shut down. So I was pretty glad to see it when I did. All right, and here is CSX. I'm pretty sure this was M421 with a SD70 Mac leader going on to the RF&P. Now, it's pretty cool I saw this because these Macs usually can't lead down the RF&P, but I think this one was CCCS equipped, if not PTC equipped. And it was pretty cool just to see a Mac leading down onto the extension, then later onto the RF&P. All right, here's CSX M415 coming eastbound on track number 2 through Kensington Station with CSX T3194 leading. That RS5T horn is so beautiful. I was so glad to see this, especially since I was out with a friend. And seeing 3194 for the second time was pretty cool. Hopefully I get it in the daytime this year. But, yeah, pretty cool catch. All right, here we got CSX M410 coming eastbound on track number 2 through Sunnyside Avenue with foreign power, Canadian Pacific, and then a KCS locomotive. Now, this was when the merger. This is when the merger already happened, but the paint scheme still hadn't came out yet, nor was it revealed. So it was just pretty cool seeing these Kansas City Southern and Canadian Pacific locomotives before they ever got repainted. I'm pretty sure Canadian Pacific or KSCP or CPKS, whatever the company name is called now, has one release locomotive that I've heard of. If I'm wrong, then correct me in the comments, but I've heard they have one out so far, and the paint scheme isn't looking that good, resembling the train from that Unstoppable movie in 2010. But it's good, I guess. Okay, here we have Amtrak PO 29 coming westbound on track number 1 through Kensington with the 301 Heritage Unit leading. Now, the clip got cut short because I got a phone call from somebody and I forgot to put my phone on D&D. But that locomotive is looking pretty cool, pretty sweet. This is for anybody who doesn't know. On September 23rd, 2023, CSX M415 had derailed at JD around 2 a.m. that morning. No, around 1:30 a.m. that morning. And it was just pretty cool to see a derailment for the first time. I really hope the crews were okay. I'm pretty sure they were, because this was a couple cars down, but yeah. Now, this is on the west side of the derailment.
The train derailed like 150 cars back, and where the mid DPU was. Train was pretty long. Alright, here's CSX M372 sitting at Lansdowne with the CSX 1850 L&N Heritage Unit. It was first time seeing this L&N Heritage Unit, and it looked pretty sweet. And just pretty cool overall, and I really like how it looks. But yeah. Alright, this is just me on the other side of the street trying to get a shot of that L&N Heritage Unit and completely failed terribly. Alright, here is CSX R32 coming eastbound on track number 2 through Sunnyside with the CSX T 1973 leading. Now, that chassis system heritage is looking pretty cool and pretty nice. I'm loving the color, and CSX is really doing a great job with these heritage units. I really love the heritage units. I'm not gonna be like these crybabies out here that want the full unit painted, because that the third fourths of that engine painted do look pretty cool, and it just makes up like a pretty cool shot through anything. So if you mess up the nose shot, you really don't have to worry. So I mean, CSX is doing a pretty cool job with these heritage units. Okay, I'm pretty sure that for this clip, this Norfolk Southern tanker train coming down the grade to Altoona had a -9 leading, and I mean, these locomotives are so, I mean, I don't think they're that rare, but it's still pretty cool to see these -9s out on the railroad, unless it was a -8, but I'm pretty sure it's a -9. I really don't know, but just seeing them out on the railroad is pretty nice and pretty cool, and I really just love the horns that they got. Alright, and then at the end of this ethanol train, you have 2 SD70 ACUs helping the train crawl down that grade down to Altoona. I saw when I was leaving Horseshoe Curve, I just seen this train coming around, going down the curve, and I was like, oh my god, I have to go catch this somewhere else. And fortunately I did. I caught it at this road crossing here. And those SD70 ACUs are so cool to see out in the railroad. Alright, coming around the Horseshoe Curve, which I'm pretty sure is my last train I seen, was this Norfolk Southern grainer train climbing down the grade at Horseshoe Curve with a Union Pacific SD70 Ace. This would be like my second time ever seeing a SD70, a Union Pacific SD70 Ace. And then that AC44 C6M leading was fresh, so it's also cool to see that. I think that's the model, AC44 C6M. If not, it's a CM44 C6M. I'm not really familiar with Norfolk Southern, so if I'm wrong, just correct me in the comments. Alright, here's CSX M421 heading down the Alexandria extension with the CSX Team 1976 Conrail leading. Chased it a little bit till we got to the Virginia Avenue Tunnel. Here we are at the Virginia Avenue Tunnel, catching him coming out of the Virginia Avenue Tunnel. Pretty cool to see that Conrail. I'm pretty sure I wasn't even planning on a chase, and so I got to Sunnyside a minute way too late. And that's how the chase began. We chased it from Beltsville down to Washington, which was pretty cool, and I was surprised that we even stayed on the chase, because chasing trains from the capital then onto the RF&P is pretty hard, especially since you get a lot of traffic on that parkway. So I'm surprised that we even chased him down, and we didn't even chase him down the Parkway. We chased him down to Kennyworth, and then joined the Parkway. Which, I mean, still a lot of traffic from there onto the District of Columbia, and it's just a lot. So, I'm pretty happy that we did catch up to it, and it was running on approaches. So that's the only reason we caught up to it. All right, here's CSX aisle 32 coming eastbound on track number 2 through Greenbelt with, I'm guessing, had the CSX 1827 Baltimore and Ohio Heritage Unit trailing second. Pretty cool, since I think this was my first time catching the B&O, if not my second time, which is pretty cool. And then, right after aisle 32 cleared Greenbelt, CSX M371 flew through, and it was just pretty cool to see, nonetheless. But yeah, I'm loving that B&O. All right, here comes CSX aisle 31 coming westbound on track number 2 through Riverdale with the B&O Heritage Unit trailing second. So this would be my third time seeing the B&O, and it was just pretty cool seeing this B&O. Always got it trailing, always had bad luck on it, but apparently after I would get it leading, I don't remember if I ever got it leading. If I ever did, that's pretty cool. Actually, I think I did get it leading. I just got a really bad shot of it. But, at least I got it, so, yeah. Alright, here's CSX I-136 coming westbound on track number 3 down the Alexandria extension at Lloyd Street. So I was after another train, really, and I missed it, but then this I-136 had that -9, that -9 trailing second. And just seeing these -9s is really cool to me, because I grew up, always catching -9s and 8s leading, and seeing them going away is just pretty sad. But, I enjoy every time I see one, and every time I hear about one coming through the area, I always try my best to get it. But yeah, so I really just love these -9s. And this one is a good one. So Mark P8 75, I think, was leaving Kensington Station, and then Amtrak VO30 was 5 hours and 32 minutes late, coming through Kensington with the 164 Heritage Unit trailing second. And it was just pretty cool to get a train meet at Kensington and then see that Heritage Unit. I did wait a long time for it, though. And, but still got it, which was pretty cool. And that train meet just made everything worth it. All right, here we got CSX I-31 coming westbound on track number 2 again, with the CSX chassis system Heritage Unit leading. It led IO32 the previous day, I'm pretty sure, and then it led again IO31 because the third locomotive was having PTC issues, so they had a YD, the power in Delaware. But it's pretty cool to see that chassis system leading the train, and that's really the chassis system Heritage Unit, the Heritage Unit I've seen lead the most trains. So it's just pretty cool to see it on these trains, and I think it's the Heritage Unit I've seen the most up here in Maryland. All right, here's CSX B456 coming westbound on track number 3, going down to Benning, DC, with CSX T1776 trailing. 1776 was always dodging me every time it would come through, but as soon as I got the post he was coming through Kensington, I waited for him for about 40 minutes just to get him, as every time he has been on that rock runner, never got to see him, to that day, and then after that day, I just started getting him way more often. So, pretty cool to see 1776. All right, here's CSX M410 coming eastbound on track number 3 through Sunnyside Avenue with the Conrail Heritage Unit, the 1976, working as a mid-train DPU out of Waycross, Georgia. Now, this was pretty cool to see since it's the first train out of Waycross, so it's just like nice to see this train coming through. All right, here we have CSX I-31 coming westbound on track number 2 through Greenbelt with the 1982 leading the Seaboard System Heritage Unit. Now, this is pretty cool because we did get a horn show from the engineer. And seeing that Seaboard System was pretty cool. And then I think, Do Not Hump Car and Tropicana Juice Cars were behind the power, which made this train even better because this is not something you see on aisle 31 every day. But yeah, I really like this catch. All right, here we have CSX aisle 32 coming through Greenbelt on eastbound on track number 2 with the 1892 trailing this time. This was the previous day, so that 1982 was is it 18? No, the 1982 was trailing. So then it would lead the next day's aisle 32, and the same Do Not Hump Car was on it, and then the Tropicana Juice Cars. Now I was lucky that it was a Friday that it came through, so I would be able to catch it on aisle 31 on a Saturday, and the noon run. There goes the 1982. Alright, and here we have CSX M214 coming eastbound on track number 1. Greenbelt with 2-8. This is pretty cool to see since these Dash 8s and 9s are not really being around as much anymore. So it's pretty cool to see them out on the road. And this is when M214 used to carry mixed freight at the front. Now it usually doesn't even carry anything but on racks. But it's just pretty cool to see these Dash 9s and Alright, here we have CSX I-31 coming westbound on track number 2 through Greenbelt with the CSX T1973 leading the chassis system heritage unit. That was so nice to see this heritage unit so many times. I'm going to show it so many times in this video. But it's always cool to see that chassis system heritage unit coming through the area. Alright, here we have CSX I-32 the previous day coming by Greenbelt, East 1-2 with the CSX T1973 chassis system trailing. Like I said, chassis system is like the heritage unit I've seen the most, and you're just gonna constantly see it pop up on this video. Alright, here we have the CSX I-31 coming westbound on track number 1 at Lloyd Street with the CSX T1973 out on the second position, meaning CSX I-35 after it ended. Yeah, my shots for this one were really bad, and my phone was acting up with the ISO and whatever. But, it was still a pretty cool catch with that geometry car trailing right behind it. Peeking from behind the trees comes CSX B455 eastbound on track number 3, going to Millville, West Virginia with the CSX T1776 leading the way. Now, this is pretty cool because if I'm not wrong, this is when the 1776 was leading the Rock Runners back and forth. Its rotation was B455 and B456, and it was just pretty cool to see this one leading. Alright, here we have the CSX M216 flying by Sunnyside Avenue with the 1976 leading. Had the well-known engineer Tony as a conductor. I said engineer. I think he's a conductor. I don't think he's an engineer, but I don't know. I'm not sure. But it was a pretty cool catch. Here comes CSX 137 heading westbound on track number 2 with the 4568 leading. This was a pretty cool catch, and I really love this video. But yeah, there it goes, and it's been a long time since it's let a train. Let a train, I think, 2 days ago, March 25th, 2024. But yeah. Alright, here's CSX S590 heading westbound on track number 1 through Greenbelt. Got this view, and then I got a underview of the CSX S590 flying through Greenbelt. Pretty fast train, if I need to say so myself. I wish I did catch when it was loaded with the KCS power and Union Pacific power, but didn't get any of those. Alright, I'm not sure what this symbol is, but here comes Amtrak 178 leading a northbound Northeast Regional, the big games unit, through Longbridge Park. This is a pretty cool catch since I've never seen the big games. I've seen it like once or twice, and this was my first time seeing it. Now, this one was a cool one. This was VRE 303 meeting the Amtrak. I'm not sure what it was, but it had the 164 leading the phase. I think that's the phase 3 leading this Northeast Regional, and pretty lucky got a passenger train meet. Alright, this one is CSX M410 coming eastbound off the east leg of the wide number 2 track at Riverdale with a new rebuilt Mark GP38 numbered 72, fresh out the shops of wherever it was coming from, and I got lucky when I saw this. Alright, here we have the CSX 1973 sitting on M416 at Knoxville, Maryland. Now, this was the first time the chassis system made its way up to Maryland, and the first ever Heritage unit I've seen. This was the second time I seen it, even though it was his first time coming up to Maryland. I was pretty lucky to see this. Got it on my way back home from Shenandoah Junction. Alright, here comes CSX M416. The same one with the chassis system Heritage unit trailing second. But here it's at Heightsville. About to come around the west leg of the Y onto number 1 track. This day, this M416 had 7 locomotives, and then when it was out of Brunswick, it dropped 1. It only had 6, and they were all at the head end. And the one that they dropped was a freshly rebuilt CM44AH. So they dropped that one, and then at Knoxville it became a full chassis train because all the locomotives it had at the head end were ex-chassis locomotives. Alright, here is CSX B455 with the CSX T1776 leading. This train really snuck up on me. As you can tell at the start, I didn't start recording to its last horn blast through Kensington. And here it is coming westbound on track number 2 through Kensington. And, you know, pretty cool train to see. And, yeah, heading to Millville, West Virginia. Heading westbound on track number 2. I got lucky with this one. This is Amtrak PL30 coming eastbound on track number 2 with the 130 Heritage unit leading its way eastbound into Washington Union Station. Pretty small train, but I'm still glad I caught it. Alright, here's that same Amtrak PO30, this time leading Amtrak PO29 a couple days prior to it leading that PO30 you saw at the last clip. But this was my first time, if I'm not wrong, seeing the 130 Heritage unit leading an Amtrak, and I didn't have my equipment that day, so got pictures on my phone, but I'd say they turned out decent. Alright, here comes M422 coming eastbound off the east leg of the Y, the number 2 track at Riverdale with 2, I think these are Progress Rail locomotives. No, those are pretty nice locomotives, and my first time ever seeing those locomotives. And this train had a lot of interesting cargo too, and made the train 10 times better. Alright, here we have the CSX M422 coming eastbound off the east leg of the Y onto number 2 track at Riverdale. This day, not only did the Canadian Pacific make this catch cool, it also, the horn show also made it really cool because, I've never gotten a horn show like that at Riverdale. Well, around that time, never gotten a horn show like that. And it was pretty cool. Plus, the Canadian Pacific and then that third unit trailing had a faded logo, or like the logo looked like it was like the half of the paint was peeled off or something. No, it was just really cool, and I really liked this catch. Probably one of my favorite catches out of the whole year of 2023. Here's CSX M214 coming eastbound on track number 2 with a -8 leading and coming through Brunswick. Now this is pretty cool because it's a -8 leader, and and those are going away, getting swiped off the CSX roster, all going into storage. And it's pretty sad, but and I actually think like there's only one -8 out there that's still in service as of March 29th, 2024. I don't know when it's going into storage, but I'm pretty sure it's a LMS, if not a Conrail. Alright, and here's the yard job CSX Y 101 coming up to the grade crossing, because the engineers seen us rail fans taking picture, so they came up to the road crossing and let us take a couple pictures before they went back to building, I'm guessing, their train, because it was full like grainers, or maybe building another train. I wasn't sure. They were switching a couple cars around, but most of it was like grainers, so I'm pretty sure they were building their own train. But it was pretty cool, pretty nice crew that they would pull up their train to the grade crossing just for us rail fans. But yeah, this is a pretty cool catch. Alright, here we have CSX M214 coming eastbound on track number 2 through Sunnyside Avenue in Beltsville. Now that leader was a -8 CW44, but it had high ditch lights, didn't have low ditch lights, which is pretty weird. But unless it was a -9, I think it was actually a -9, but I'm not too sure. I know it's a dash something. But it's M214, and pretty cool to see that. And even if it's not wine 2 colors, those are also going away and getting rebuilt. And it's pretty cool to see those wine 2s. Alright, here's CSX M216 coming eastbound on track number 2 through Sunnyside Avenue with a -8 leading the way. Pretty cool to see that. Again, those -8s are going away Would have been really cool to see it if it was in Y and 2 colors. But, you know, still something, still a Dash 8. Pretty cool to see those leading trains. All right, here we have CSX M217 coming westbound on track number 2 through Greenbelt. The ST70H leading numbered 8902. Now, I had seen that locomotive previously on M216 like 2 days ago. And it was pretty cool to see that catch. Just seeing those ST70Hs, knowing that they're off the CSX roster now. And we're given back to Progress Rail. It's pretty sad, so I'm pretty glad I saw these when I did. Alright, here we have the CSX X216 coming eastbound on track number 1 through Greenbelt with the ST70H 8209, the one that had led M217 2 days after that was taken. And it's pretty cool to see this coming by. I wasn't expecting seeing ST70H that day, nor that I expected to ever lead M217, but I got pretty lucky with these catches. Alright, here we have CSX M410 coming eastbound on track number 2 through Greenbelt with the Canadian Pacific locomotive. Now, this video was cut short because somebody called me while I was recording the train, so as soon as the Canadian Pacific was about to pass, the video cut off. Alright, here we are at the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video all the way through. I have way more catches like this before, but all those videos either came bad or the camera just wasn't, like, the pictures just wasn't good. Although I didn't upload any pictures. But, you know, just seeing these catches was really cool. And again, I thank every single one of y'all for y'all support. And waiting for this video because I know I've taken 3 months for it. But, you know, just thank you all for waiting patiently and watching to the end. All right, till the next time. Thanks for watching.